Hello everybody, this is your Mothma back at it with another video. So, I took a trip to the beach yesterday. I got salt water in my eye, I got stung by a jellyfish, I got sunburned, and it was really busy and really hot. Everything about this trip kind of went wrong, because usually, in the past when we plan a beach trip, we try to plan for like a cloudy day or almost a light rainy day. Usually it's not super busy because we don't usually go on the weekends, but this time we did go on the weekend. So pretty much everything about this trip kind of went crazy. And I think in the past that this would have been grounds for a really big freak out from me or like a very large overstimulated moment. But what surprised me is I really did have a good day, like genuinely. And I just found myself thinking, like, why though? Because there was just so much that like could have caused me to easily become frustrated and just like not want to deal with the day anymore. Maybe it was because I was in good company. I was there with my boyfriend. It was like really peaceful, and despite like the noise and stuff, like I did feel pretty calm. The car trip especially was really fun with him. We went 4 hours to and from just like singing. Like I put a whole playlist together and it was really fun. At one point we accidentally left gummies in the car, these like gummy snakes, and the heat made it into this amalgamation of this mega gummy that when my boyfriend tried to eat it, it literally like just would not separate itself. So it was just like super gooey and nasty, and it was really funny. Like it was just such a crazy day, but like all in all, I found a lot of peace on this trip. Something I've been thinking a lot about lately is this particular episode of Adventure Time. I've been watching a lot of Adventure Time again recently. Um, and in this one episode, it has to do with Jermaine and Jake. And if you know the episode, it's like the painting episode. If you don't know anything about it, here's kind of the lowdown on it. Also, before I get into it, maybe some like spoilers, but also the series is old, so I don't know. Anyways, in some of the previous episodes, Jake the dog finds out that he is actually like this alien kind of creature, and that's why he's able to stretch. Leading up to this episode, he's kind of having trouble coping with that because everyone around him keeps talking about how much he's changed and how it's like kind of creepy or like unsettling. And so he's having a really hard time because he doesn't really feel any different, but like everyone's kind of pointing out that like it's just a weird adjustment for them. And so in this particular episode, I believe Jake has a dream about his brother Jermaine, and in the dream he sees that Jermaine is like painting this abstract art, which like is not normal for Jermaine because Jermaine is known for being kind of the brother that is like very like the responsible one and the practical one. And so like normally his paintings are very like these beautiful pieces of art that are very like basically like painting exactly what he sees. And like, you know, just very beautiful like landscapes and stuff like that. And so when Jake in the dream sees that like his brother is painting these abstract pieces, he gets kind of freaked out and he wants to go to visit his brother. So he does. Upon the visit, Jake ends up finding Jermaine kind of in, I guess, like his art studio or something. Like Jermaine has this little art studio area. He's doing exactly as Jake dreamed, which is like painting all of these abstract pieces. And, you know, Jermaine's like really into it and just like very curious and like inspired and just like having a good time exploring something new. And Jake's just like super freaked out by it and like is very upset. Essentially like just kind of like, this isn't you. Like you're the one that does like the more practical art pieces. Jermaine's just kind of like explaining to him that like nothing's really different. It's just I felt like trying something new essentially. And it's kind of like to Jake, this this image that he had of Jermaine, like this new version of him, doesn't really match the one that Jake has known his entire life. So he's just very confused and like upset about it. And I like that in the episode Jermaine just kind of is fully standing in his self and accepting himself, and kind of pushes Jake to realize that maybe Jake is the one feeling lost within himself. So within the episode, we kind of see Jake starting to realize that it's okay to feel different, but still absolutely the same. And he kind of comes to the realization that it's okay to not know fully who the new version of yourself is, or like to have other people understand that. And I like that Jermaine kind of helps him come to that conclusion. It's so confusing to exist, to be aware of the changes that you're going through, but not really knowing who the new version of yourself is yet. It's honestly really simple. I like doing these videos, so I keep making them. What hasn't been so simple for me is all the videos lately that I've been rejecting or struggling to make, or why I feel like there are some that just aren't good enough. Like they're not quite refined yet, or I don't have the right angle or the right idea quite yet. Because being viewed as flawed or not put together by others is really scary. Like they'll just see all the scars of my past, or they'll see all the new parts that I haven't quite figured out yet and just reject me entirely, which feels like a lot when you're in the in-between stage. So while on the trip to the beach, we also stopped by my grandpa's grave because it's kind of at this in-between point. So it makes a good time for us to be able to stop on the way through, since we're going through that area anyways. And at the grave, I always feel kind of like I just don't know quite what to say, because in a different timeline, I'd be standing there with everyone else in my family. But I'm not. I'm in this timeline, the one where on the night that my grandpa died, while me and my brother are in the room saying our goodbyes, my grandma's in the other room telling everyone we just want to see what a dead body looks like. I'm in the timeline where my entire family line views me as the enemy. I'm on the timeline where the only thing I've ever truly felt in this lifetime was just banishment and rejection. And while I'm standing here right in front of my grandpa's grave, I ask myself if my grandpa even really wants me here or is proud of me. Because when all of the shit back then was destroying my life, he had dementia and cancer and ended up being unconscious in a bed, non-responsive to anything, while the entire family was turning their backs on me. He was fighting his own battles. It makes me wonder if he was aware of the entire situation, if he would hate me too, like everyone else did. I smell the freshly cut grass and hear the doves coo as giant mosquitoes are attacking us. I feel a sense of familiarity, soothing, and dread hit me all at once. Because I know I'm not welcome here. My spirit recognizes that. But what I also start to realize is, when you're dead in the ground, it really doesn't matter anymore. No opinions, thoughts, just death, emptiness, quiet, no pain. So maybe it doesn't really matter what he would have thought of me, because he's dead on the floor anyways. And I'm here, a disappointment, but alive. I've been an overthinker my entire life, thinking about my past a lot and where that takes me, present and future. Acknowledging your pain without being taken by it is really hard. Accepting your past for what it is hard. Harder still it is to move on from something that is the foundation of your youth. Pretty much 30 years of my entire life has been this battle against my past, and a battle against my own sanity for the present. When you're about to turn 30 though, you look at the lessons, ask if they took longer to learn than they should have. Even though that doesn't really matter anymore, because time is gone and doesn't exist anymore. Much like my grandpa, that too is dead in the ground. 30 years old, and my confidence still falters sometimes. I question my every move. I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But I know if I died tomorrow, I already did a lot. I made it through some really complex shit. I even made my way into college. I'm proud of myself. A lot of it I did alone, but there were a lot of times that I had a lot of help, especially from my boyfriend Dorian, who I appreciate immensely. Even in this timeline where everything is complicated and fucked up, where my family hates me, where I'm standing with just me and my boyfriend, getting eaten alive by big ass blood sucking mosquitoes, pouring Dr. Pepper out as an offering for Grandpa that I don't even know would have supported me. I realize life's a beach, so you gotta learn to celebrate. Nothing ever goes right. Everything's messy and painful. The sea's full of salt that gets in your eye. The sun is at a constant battle with the sunscreen you forgot to reapply. The jellyfish in the ocean find your left particular angle to be a great place to sting. Now, is there any spiritual significance to getting stung by a jellyfish? Maybe not, but maybe I have been chosen by the ocean gods, and that jellyfish sting pain is just an awakening to my true potential. Bow down. Supposedly, though, the spiritual significance of jellyfish is like flow, go with the flow, change and transformation vibes, so maybe that fits. You know, things aren't really the way I would have chose my life to be, just like how my beach day was, not peaceful, or the way that I wanted. I think I've always been so worried about the fact that there's always some kind of drama or crazy thing that's happened to me. I get worried a lot of the time that means that maybe I'm the common denominator, or maybe I just attracted shit people into my life. Or maybe the universe itself just thought I deserved all the pain that I've gone through. Honestly, lately, I just don't care if I'm the problem anymore. I lived my entire life just trying to be everything that everyone else needed me to be. My intentions were pretty good for the most part. I didn't always get it right. I'm just so sick of caring about what others think of me, even the people that are closest to me. It really doesn't matter how anyone perceives me anymore, how the world perceives me, or how all the people who hate me see me. As long as I can see myself, it's time I learned to let it go. You don't have to have all the pieces together for who the new version of you is. You don't need other people to validate that this version of you is the right one. You just have to love and accept that things are different now, that you can never go back to who you used to be. You don't have to have all the answers for where it's gonna take you.
The shapes are always changing. Changing is their normal state, like us. Even if we're not changing on the outside, we're changing on the inside constantly. There's some stuff about me that I've been ignoring for a long time. I'm afraid of that stuff. But it's part of who I am. As long as I know the shape of my soul, I'll be all right.
So yeah, that's pretty much the end of the video today. It's been a good minute since I've let myself talk freely for the most part. I figured it might be kind of a refreshing take because I end up feeling worried a lot of the time that people just won't relate to who I am at all. So I think that kind of just stops me from posting things sometimes. But even if you don't relate to everything in this video, I'm sure there's some pieces that anyone could take and fit into their own life lessons as needed. So yeah, thanks for tuning into the video. I hope you liked it. Much love, guys. Bye.